use an acronym GCSE, which you see down here, to explain four key components that goes into a best practice prompt. And the first one really is the goal. What would you like Copilot to provide to you? In this particular case, we are specifying generate 3 to 5 points. The next one is context. Why do you need this information and who is involved? The reason why you're giving this level of instruction to Copilot is because Copilot, the best way to consider Copilot is like your own executive assistants. So when you are communicating with your executive assistant, you don't normally say, go schedule a meeting, or you don't normally say, give me 3 to 5 points, because then they're going to say, okay, great, 3 to 5 points about what, right? So it's a similar way you communicate with Copilot. You give it the goal, you give it the context, and then you also say, here's where I would like you to go into to gather that information. So basically, a Copilot, when you go into my graph, here are the areas I want you to focus your attention on since a particular point in time. And then here is where the tone of the response that Copilot provides, you're literally telling it, here's my expectation. It is at this point that some people say, well, do you mean that for every time that I prompt Copilot, I need to integrate this GCSE component into my prompt? And the answer is no. Sometimes you might just want to be very brief with your prompt. We understand that. But when it comes to really leveraging the power of Copilot to get a response, it is always best to integrate a couple of these components into your prompt. And on this slide, we have a few more examples of prompts, best practices. And then on that note, we are now going to go into doing the demo. And in regards to doing the demo, we wanted to outline 3 key challenges that university faculty staff members normally experience across various universities that we've delivered Copilot to. A lot of faculty staff normally talk about they spend a lot of time preparing content. And I'm going to assume that a lot of the faculty champions on the call can relate, to this. They spend a lot of time preparing materials, publications, doing research, putting things together. So during the call today, we will go over how Copilot can help you to mitigate this particular pain point. Another pain point or challenge faced by faculty is really the number of meetings that they have on their calendar. A lot of times, faculty members are in a situation where every day is different, every week is different, every faculty member is different, but you normally have situations where you literally have back-to-back meetings, and sometimes faculty members say, I am triple or double booked in meeting. I don't really have time to process all of these different meetings. And so today, we will go over how Copilot can help you as a faculty staff to mitigate this particular challenge. And the third one really is faculty members, they get a lot of emails. Not just from students, from their colleagues, from admins. There's a lot of emails, and so keeping track of those emails, responding in a professional way, and also following up of things that they struggle with just because they don't really have enough time in the day to be doing all of this. And so as part of our demo today, we will show you some use cases that using Copilot, you can help mitigate this particular pain point. Okay. So the first round of use cases we are going to go over will be use cases that address this pain point number one, content generation. And the use cases are split into three. And for a lot of the champions on this call, this will be familiar to you because we went over these when conducting the scenarios and use case prioritization. But let me just go through this very, very quickly, just for the recording, and also for those champions that did not attend the session that I just referenced. When it comes to content generation, we split the use cases into three. The first one is create and transform. This is using Copilot to create from scratch a first draft of something. But at the same time, you can also say, I already have an existing Word document, and you would like Copilot to create a presentation from that. Very easy to do, and I will demo that today. The next four use cases is you are looking at an existing content and you would like to add more text or more verbiage. A lot of times you have to go through writer's block. A lot of you are familiar with what I mean by writer's block. Sometimes for some people that could take 30 minutes, an hour, a few hours. For some people it could take days to really get into that state of mind. And Copilot can just do it for you in seconds or minutes. And we'll go over that today. Summarizing long presentations to ensure that you can capture the key points. Summarizing long text, so you might be looking at a Word document and just having Copilot extract a summary is something else that we are going to be demoing today. Asking questions is another key one that we will demo. And then the last two use cases under content generation is you already have a document or it's a new document where you would like Copilot to apply formatting. Or you might have a document and you say, hey, Copilot, help me generate next steps. So when we met with some of your champions last week, we said for the training, which one of these should we do first? Which one should we do second, third, and so on and so forth? Just in case we run out of time, we want to make sure that we cover the main ones that you prioritize. And here is how the champions that attended the two sessions that we had last week, which we refer to as scenarios, review, and use case prioritization. Here is how you voted. This is the general consensus for us to start with transforming existing text into presentation and then creating first drafts. So this is how our demo flow has been presented. We're going to start with number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to number 8 for content generation. So let's go ahead and jump into number 1. So for number 1, here is the prompt. But before we copy and paste the prompt, let's go over the instruction here. So you want to take an existing Word document and have Copilot create a presentation for you. So you open a new blank PowerPoint document. You ask Copilot to create a presentation starting from a Word document that you reference. And then you can use / to find that Word document. So let me go ahead and open up a blank Word document and also a blank PowerPoint.
See, this is in the way. The picture's in the way for me to read.
Okay. So in this blank PowerPoint, Copilot has, and I'm using the web version of PowerPoint, but you can also use the app version, which is this right here. This is the app version. As you have the Copilot icon on the right, but at the top, you will also have this Copilot icon. So in clicking on that Copilot icon, we have create a presentation. And when you click on that, you will notice you have this panel here where you enter, create a presentation about something. If we were going to create a presentation from scratch, then I would enter the prompt. In this particular case, we wanted to create a presentation from an existing document. So one way you can do that is // and now you can now select, or you can type to pull up the document that you want to reference. Okay, and in this case, let me go ahead and I'll pull up this document. Another way you can do it is, let me go ahead and remove this. Another way you can do it is you can click on this pin, this icon here, and it will pull up the same thing. Okay, for you to select, and then you can select the information that you need. Okay, give me 1 second.